Hey, good morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. Hey, if you could give it a share, I'd appreciate it very much. It's time. We got to start to make our first attempt at showing you how much snow will fall. Now, I will say that everything, all of the data, all of the models are very consistent, maybe varying about 25 miles and a couple of inches of snow. So, in my mind, that's not a big variance. Okay. So let's get into it and show you what's going to happen. I'm going to be showing you the European model, which has been on this storm, as well as I have, for 7 or 8 days now without much change at all. We're talking over the 7 days, the center of the storm has changed position forecast maybe 100, 150 miles, 7 days out. Okay. And the US model now is right in with the European model. And so let's get to it. Okay. And the long story short, if you want this, hey, please hit the share button. I would appreciate it very much. The long story short is today, decent travel. Tomorrow, excellent travel compared to what's coming. Thursday, rain in a lot of places. Not bad travel. Thursday night, changing rapidly. Friday morning, the danger time period. Friday morning is when many of you could wake up and say, oh, I knew they blew it. It's raining. Not going to happen. And then that flash freeze comes through. And it's not so much a snow thing at that point as it is wet roads and temperatures going from 35 to about 20. And instantly, in a matter of minutes, the roads turn into a skating rink. So let's get to it. All right. So we're going to start off with the with a comparison. Okay. I'm going to show you the latest European model forecast. And then I'm going to show you 12 hours earlier, just so you can get a comparison of how little, really, they've switched. Hey, good morning, everyone. If you could hit the share button, we're going to get into this here. Hey, good morning, Jenny Steele. All right, so we're into today, some light snow, northern parts of lower Michigan. We're into tomorrow. Again, if you want the simple message, if you're going to travel, travel tomorrow. And I've answered so many questions from people. Well, we've got a party on Friday. Friday is not a travel day. Okay. All right. So Wednesday evening, there you go. The storm's still way to our west, not put together yet. Thursday morning, again, this has been consistent, still possibly in a dry sector Thursday morning for southern lower. Thursday afternoon, a mixture trying to develop, still light across the southern half of the state. Some of it will be rain. Thursday night, 7 p.m., that rain line shifts northward into Clare, Bay City, Alpena. Matt Collins, do you think 6 p.m. on Thursday is going to be too late to drive from Mount Pleasant to Grand Rapids? We're at 6 p.m. Thursday right there. I would say no if you're a halfway decent winter driver, but you're racing against the clock because this is 1 a.m. Friday. Okay, and you can see the storm center now starting to. It looks like it will probably do what we call bomb out. And remember, bombing out is when a storm center drops 24 millibars in 24 hours, rapidly deepening. So, middle of the night, Thursday night, Detroit could still be rain. Flint could be rain or a mixture. Saginaw could be rain or a mixture. Ann Arbor, rain or a mixture. Friday morning, that's where I think it gets dangerous because of the other people on the road. Elise Van Blarsium, I have no idea what day you're talking about, so I need to know that. Now, this is Friday morning, 7 a.m. So the flash freeze is coming across I-75, coming through the Detroit area, and coming into the thumb Friday morning by 7 a.m. Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Lansing, middle part of the state, Traverse City, all points northward, over to snow, wind picking up. Friday afternoon, Lansing, Jackson, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, blizzard conditions, probably. Notice the tight packing of the isobars in the south central, southwest part of the state. That will be where the worst weather is out of this storm system, probably, because the tight packing will get the gusts probably to 50 miles an hour or a little more. This is Friday evening, 7 o'clock. That right there is snow and wind and blizzard or near blizzard conditions for all of lower Michigan. It's a potential that we could have a blizzard warning for every county in lower Michigan. It's been a long time since that's happened. It's potential. The Southeast National Weather Service office, White Lake, is pretty reluctant to issue blizzard warnings. They want to keep it for a real storm. And my friends, this is a real storm. The air pressure center 972 at that point. That's very deep. Now, this is Friday night, nasty. This is Saturday morning. It's still a wind howling. The bitter cold is coming in, and the snow is still flying everywhere. This is Saturday afternoon. This is Saturday evening. This is Saturday night. So Friday, Saturday, not days to travel. And when you have the wind temperature going down to single digits and blowing, the salt doesn't work. Now we go to Christmas Day. This is middle of Christmas Day. So the wind has come down. Still some drifting, probably 20, 25 mile an hour gusts Christmas Day. Still some areas of heavy lake effect, but getting better. Roads cleaned up and perfect? It's going to probably be Wednesday before that happens, okay? All right, so let's go back and look at a comparison. Let's look at Thursday night, 7 p.m. New run of the European, old run. New run, old run. See just the little shift? Not much, right? I guess I would say the flash freeze is about 10, 15 miles quicker on the new run. This is 1 a.m. Friday. New run, old run. New run, old run. A little bit quicker, but about the same. Friday morning, new run, old run. There you can really see the difference in the flash freeze. The old run Friday morning off the European, flash freeze was west of Saginaw, down through Oakland County and moving northeast. New run, it's into Saginaw County and heading toward the thumb. So it's maybe 25, 40 miles faster on the changeover, but very similar. Look at Friday afternoon. New run, old run. New run, old run. Very similar. Can we miss this? Doubt it. Look at Friday evening. Nasty. New run, old run. New run, old run. So just a little bit faster, I guess I would say. Now, let's look at the U.S. model. Okay? Compare it. Hey, thanks for joining me, folks. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. You're watching the MLive Morning Weather Update. Like the MLive.com Facebook page, please. Go to the page a couple of times today, a couple of times tomorrow, and then Facebook's algorithms will say you want to see information from MLive, and then you'll get a notification when I'm on live, and I will be doing quite a few live broadcasts through this snowstorm. It does look like, I would say it's probably the biggest one in the last decade as far as widespread and severity. So we'll definitely keep you updated on it. And it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. I mean, I know a lot of people, we want to go to this party Friday. We want to go to this party Saturday. The message is pretty simple. Today, Wednesday, decent travel. Very good. Do it then. Thursday, iffy, but okay. You're running a race against the flash freeze. Thursday night, Friday morning, weather goes downhill seriously, and by noon Friday, we're all locked into a rapidly deteriorating, dangerous travel situation. So Friday and Saturday, I would not recommend traveling unless you expect an emergency. And a Christmas party is not an emergency. All right. So here's the US model. Uh, Thursday, Thursday evening. Again, it has that rain snow line. Friday at 1 in the morning. So the US model is somewhat similar, but a significant difference for me, a meteorologist, in that the low pressure center on this um, model is down around Toledo, Findlay, Ohio. That means that more of eastern and central lower Michigan would get into the heavy snow band quicker, and it would be more snow just about 25 to 50 miles east. By the way, for heavy snow versus very heavy snow, I'm using the dividing line of about US 127. I think that's going to be a key borderline. West of that, you have 6 hours more snow and lake effect enhancement. So, Lansing, Jackson, Mount Pleasant, Houghton Lake, west, I would call it very heavy snow and probably blizzard conditions. East of that, we're going to get a burst of heavy snow, but it may not be what you call a monster snowstorm. Okay, I think on the east side of the state, the ill-timed flash freeze is probably the more dangerous thing for you. Do not get on the roads 7 a.m. to noon on Friday. You may be smart, but not everybody is. And you'll see the brake lights, and then you'll spend the afternoon in your car on an interstate. Okay, so this is Friday afternoon. Look at that low pressure center out over Lake Huron. It's going to bomb out over Lake Huron because of the moisture source, the warmth source. It wants to suck right to it. It's going to be a very common track. Friday evening, there it is. Lots of wind, lots of snow, lots of cold. Nolan Haley, I'm going to get to that in just a moment here. This is Saturday morning. That's still no picnic. That's still 40-mile-an-hour gusts with snow falling and blowing and drifting. And this is Saturday evening, still no picnic. And then this is Christmas Day, middle of the day. You'll better, but cold and icy roads, but certainly much improved over Friday and Saturday. And then next week, if you want to wait to travel until it's safe, as we get to Wednesday of next week, it looks like we pop up to around 33, 34 degrees in a lot of places. All right, so here we go with snowfall totals. Everything's been pretty consistent. I want you to know this is a general guide. We'll be fine tuning it, but I feel pretty confident. And you know what? There's a little secret here for us meteorologists. As the wind blows, you probably won't be able to actually tell how much snow you had. You might still have places where you get 10 inches, you might still have almost bare ground in one place and a 2 or 3 foot drift in other places. So in other words, use this as a guide, is just saying west half of the state, flat out snowstorm, 2 blizzard conditions. East half of the state, snowstorm, nasty, definitely nasty. I don't want to downplay that, but mega snow, probably not in the east side of the state. So here we go. This is going to be the European deterministic model. And this is why I would call this probably a 10 to 17 inch snow in the west half of lower Michigan. And I would call it a 4 to 9 inch snow in the east half, with a lot of 6 and 7 inches probably in the east half, and maybe in the far southeast, southern side of Detroit and down to Monroe, maybe just 3 inches or so. But you see, you can go from 3 inches south side of Detroit to 10 inches or more Lansing westward. Okay, so that is the deterministic forecast off of the European. That's the most likely run. This I like. I show you this. This is the ensemble mode. It smooths out the highs and smooths out the lows, but it gives you a good general picture. Big snow, Kalamazoo, Lansing, Grand Rapids, Muskegon, all the shoreline, Cadillac, Traverse City, Northwest Lower, all of the UP, big snow. Heaviest where there's lake enhancement, Northwest Lower, Southwest Corner, and the UP. That's where you get over the foot plus probably by the time it's all said and done. All right, now the wind is the factor too. So we go into Friday. Remember, I told you Friday is when we start to turn dangerous. This is Friday morning. This is Friday afternoon. This is Friday evening. So my target worst time period, stay off the roads definitely. Friday afternoon, Friday evening, Friday overnight. You're looking at, those are in knots, so those gusts are 45. That means it's 50 or so mile-an-hour gusts. This is Saturday morning. Maybe the wind's coming down, but with still some 40-mile-an-hour gusts. Saturday morning with all the snow that we've had Friday night, it's nasty. And Saturday evening, you're still looking at 40-mile-an-hour gusts occasionally. And by Christmas Day, the gusts are coming down. And what do I have left for you? Okay, wind chill. So as we get into the storm system, look at Friday. Wind chill could be 30 below zero in Fort Wayne, while the wind chill is 24 in Saginaw. So the cold air is actually going to wrap around this storm, and Lake Michigan is going to save us from the deepest cold. Okay. Amy Zettel, traveling in Petoskey on Thursday morning, hoping to be back in Saginaw by 5. How's it look for that? Will we beat it? You likely will. It won't be perfect. But again, you're in the race of time. Thank you, folks, for pinning me down. So there you have it. Today, tomorrow, decent travel. Thursday, iffy, pretty good in places because it'll be above freezing. Thursday night, the changeover. Friday morning, dangerous because some people will be lulled into thinking, oh, this ain't happening. It's still raining. And then 5 minutes later, it could be a sheet of ice on the road. And bear in mind, this is not an ice accumulation type system. This is a rain right to snow. And that's when I've found that the flash freeze on the roads occur when you go down to 20 degrees real rapidly. If you go from 34 down to 29, it's real slow. But if you go from 34 to 20 in a matter of a few minutes, it's an instant type freeze. So we'll keep you updated on it. I'm feeling pretty confident because everything is very consistent. And at this point, with our technology, with our modeling, it's still let's call it 48 hours from starting and 72 hours from being the bad part of the storm. Changes possible. The trend, 10 or 20 miles faster on the cold. Trend is maybe for the low pressure center shifting southeast. That gets more snow into Flint. That gets more snow into Livingston County, Washtenaw County. So some tweaks definitely on the way, but get ready for a good old-fashioned 3-dayer here in Michigan. And by late next week, we may be approaching 40 degrees. 8 to 14-day forecast, by the way, is for a strong chance of warmer than normal conditions. So there we go. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. To check the posts I have on MLive.com for you, and we'll see you here often in the next few days. Take care. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa.